In the beginning of the movie, we are shown a rich and powerful businessman named Sudeep. He is fond of shooting guns and never miss a single shot. While practicing on his field, his business partner Aditya comes to tell him that he has a very important meeting, but Sudeep ignores him. He forces him and says the client is very serious, but he again ignores him and goes to a young woman to teach her shooting. He touches her seductively. After this, we are shown a young miniature artist named Bindu. She is trying to make a small heart. Suddenly the light goes out and she faces difficulty in her work. She comes near the window and start working in moonlight. When she is busy in her work, her neighbor, Johnny, watches her. He likes her since 2 years, but he doesn't express his feelings. Johnny finds that she is facing difficulties in her work, so he makes a light bulb using aluminium paper and a torch. After getting the full light, Bindu finally completes her work. She closes the window and goes to bed. Meanwhile, Sudeep organizes a big party in the celebration of the 3rd anniversary of his company. At the function, the client, who was not ready to sign the contract, suddenly comes to him and is agreed for the business. Aditya is shocked and confused as how he has signed the contract with them. But his confusion goes away when he finds that the client's wife is the woman whom Sudeep had taught her shooting. Now he realized that his friend gets the contract with the help of client's wife. Then they go to the bar and celebrates their success. As they talk about their past, we come to know that Sudeep's all wealth is his wife. He says he killed his wife and took over her company. The girl also runs an NGO for children's education. She and her friends decide to buy books for slum children, but the NGO fund is low. Then one of her friends suggests her to meet with Sudeep because his company wants to support a non-profit organization. Bindu goes to his office for the funds. When Sudeep sees her, he gets attracted by her beauty and keeps staring at her. Bindu explains him about the charitable work of her NGO, but Sudeep is lost in checking her body. When she ends her explanation, Sudeep gives her a check of 15 lakh rupees. Bindu gets surprised and happily thanks him for funding her NGO. Then she and her friends distribute books and study stuff to the children in their neighborhood. After the distribution, Sudeep asks Bindu to have lunch with him in an expensive restaurant. At the restaurant, Bindu gets a message from Johnny, who praises her looks. She turns her head and sees him watching her from the other side. She keeps looking at him and ignores Sudeep the whole time. Then Sudeep also notices her staring at someone else, which hurts him badly. After the lunch, he decides to drive her home, but she stops at midway saying that she wants to buy some groceries. After she left the car, Sudeep follows her and sees that she is with Johnny, which makes him jealous because no girl has ever ignored him like that. Now he decides to separate them. One day Bindu has lots of work at the NGO and gets late for home. She is afraid to walk in darkness, so she sends a message to Johnny to pick her from the office. Johnny gets her message and immediately runs to her. They both walk to home in silence. When Bindu goes inside her home, Johnny is kidnapped by someone in a van. These kidnappers are sent by Sudeep to kill him. They take him to an abandoned place and beat him badly. Sudeep also comes there and torture him. Johnny finds that he kidnapped him for Bindu. Sudeep says that the girl is only made for him and anyone who tries to look at her will be killed by him. He rages at Johnny and beats him to death. Just then Bindu calls Johnny to tell him that she likes him, but now it's too late for her. When Sudeep left the place with his men, a strange blue light comes out from Johnny's body and transfer to flies' eggs places nearby. In the morning, Johnny's body is found in the middle of the road and the police declares his death as an accident. When Bindu sees her boyfriend, she gets a big shock and broken from inside. After 10 days, the fly's egg that was hit by the strange light hatches and gives birth to a baby fly. But this fly is actually Johnny, who is rebirthed as a fly to take revenge on his killers. He is confused and tries to remember his past. He tries to fly, but his wings are not open yet. And is almost drowned in the flowing water. When his wings finally opens, he flies into the air. Now he starts exploring his new life and is surprised by floating bubbles and kids around him. He starts playing with the bubbles. Then he gets stuck on a cricket ball and lands on a half-eaten apple. A bird flies after him and tries to eat him, but he has survived and enters a house. Here he accidentally drowned in a water mug. He notices that the man who is holding the glass is Sudeep. When he sees him from near, he suddenly remembers his past life. He is angered and attacks him, but soon he realizes that he can't hit him as a fly. When Sudeep swats, Nani flies to the ground. Then he remembers his girlfriend and flies to her house. When he sees her, he gets emotional and tries to get her attention, but now he is a small fly, so she doesn't notice him. She tells her sister-in-law that she misses Johnny and can't live without him. Johnny also hears this communication and decides to get her attention. Later, when Bindu is working in his office, Sudeep comes to meet her. He shows sympathy for her boyfriend and tries to touch her inappropriately. Suddenly Johnny also comes there and gets inside his ears to protect his girlfriend. In the following scene, Sudeep gets inside a wooden box which is made for steam bath. When his limbs are bound, Johnny gets inside his ear again and makes him to move into a sharp towel handle. Sudeep tries to kill the fly with his towel and comes outside naked in front of his business partners. Everyone is ashamed of him. Later, he invites Bindu and his friends in his office and tells them that he is going to represent their NGO at national level. He requests Bindu to come with him at the function. In the night, the fly starts annoying him again and doesn't let him sleep. He troubles him very bad that Sudeep doesn't fall asleep even for a second. At last, he covers himself with bed sheet and tries to sleep. Bindu calls him and tells him that they are getting late for the flight. They only have half an hour to check in. He rushes to the airport and Johnny also follows him. At first, he annoys the traffic police to disturb his movements in other direction and creates a huge traffic jam. When Sudeep changes his car, he attacks in his eye which causes an accident. When Sudeep is trapped in the car, the fly comes over the windshield and writes "I will kill you." After arriving his home, the doctor treats him but Sudeep is very scared of the fly and rages at him. He decides to have a fly killer in his hands. Everyone thinks he is out of his mind. Just then Bindu comes to meet him which makes Johnny angry and he tries to attack Sudeep. But Bindu sprays the fly which makes him unconscious and falls off the window. When he is about to die with the poison, the water sprinkler starts working and washes his body. Luckily he is saved by the water. Sudeep visits an entomologist and asks him if a fly can take revenge. He tells him that he has delusion and need a psychiatrist but Sudeep doesn't believe him. He goes to the junkyard to find his accidental car. There he encounters with a mysterious man named Tantra. He warns him that all his money will be burned but he ignores the man and starts looking his car. He finds the broken glass that says "kill." Now he is sure that the fly was trying to kill him. The next morning, Johnny finds Bindu is crying and missing him. Her tears fell on the table. The fly writes a message with her tears says "I am Johnny reborn." Bindu is surprised when she reads it. She holds the fly in her hand and asks if he is really her boyfriend. The fly nods his head and confirms that he is Johnny who has been rebirthed as a fly. He tries to communicate with Bindu and points at Sudeep's picture in a newspaper saying he is the killer. Bindu gets shocked and doesn't believe his eyes. Then she decides to help her boyfriend to take revenge on his killer. As she is a miniature artist she makes tiny glasses and other stuff for the fly to protect him from insect killers. On other side, Sudeep asks his bodyguards to find the fly. But no one finds it. When the fly enters the house, Sudeep sprays on him but it doesn't work because now he has protection. Then he tries others ways to kill him. His men uses fly swatters but they fail to kill him. He puts Sudeep's bedroom on fire and doesn't let him sleep. Then Sudeep accidentally drinks fly's bait drink and can't sleep all night. The fly realizes that he has to find a unique way to kill his killer. He decides to use a working cannon in Sudeep's house. Bindu helps him to fill the cannon with a tiny bucket of gunpowder that he drops into the cannon. They continuously fill the cannon until it is not full. But unluckily a man puts a tissue paper into the cannon's mouth and destroys their plan. Sudeep decides to cover his house with insect-proof glasses and scanners to stop the fly. When Johnny is unable to enter the house his girlfriend goes into the house and makes a way for him. When Sudeep sees Bindu he tries to touch her but the fly uses his sharp claws and scratches skin to blood. The next day, Sudeep has a very important meeting with his business investors but the fly also comes there to annoy him. He tries to catch him in the middle of the meeting. In catching the fly he slaps the investors and breaks a pot on one of them. The investors get angry and refuse to fund his company. Later the income tax department is informed about Sudeep's black money which is hidden in his office. He starts breaking the vault using fire flame but the fly troubles him and burns all his money. Just then Sudeep remembers the mysterious man Tantra who had warned him at the junkyard. He rushes to the place again and tries to look for him. He finds that the man is master in black magic. With his magic Sudeep finds out that the fly is Johnny who has been rebirthed as a fly to take revenge on him. He performs black magic in Sudeep's house and creates two evil birds to kill Johnny. The birds flies after him but fail to kill him. The glass doors are locked and the house is filled with smoke. Sudeep and the man are trapped in the house. Sudeep become unconscious due to lack of oxygen. Just then his friend comes there and saves him. When Sudeep checks the CCTV footage he finds that Bindu has helped the fly to enter the house. Now he knows everything and decides to use Bindu to kill her boyfriend once again. He takes her as hostage and calls for Johnny to come in front of him. The fly appears to save his girlfriend and Sudeep tries to kill him with his feet but failed. During the fight, Bindu manages to run away from Sudeep and hide herself. The fly picks up a needle and launches it towards Sudeep's eyes, but with the help of a magnet he finally traps him. He also finds his girlfriend hiding in a corner and makes her hostage once again. He brutally cuts off one of his wings. Just then the fly notices that the tissue paper which was blocking the cannon has come out. Then he covers his whole body with gunpowder and dives into the loaded cannon with the help of a burning matchstick. He is burned in fire which causes his death. When he dives, a round shot comes out of cannon and hits a gas cylinder through Sudeep's body. This causes a big fire explosion and burns the entire house. Luckily Bindu hides herself during the explosion and survived, but Sudeep is killed. The next day, we see Bindu going to her office and a man tries to tease her, but just then her boyfriend Johnny, who has again rebirth as a fly, comes there and attacks him. In the end, the fly confirms his return to protect his girlfriend forever. Thanks for watching. And if you really like the movie, hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this.